That's
name?
Hexa.
Hexa. Wait, it says green dice. I only see one die. Die. That's what I assume. I guess it's
Paper, discards.
the stopwatch.
Timekeeper.
Anyone got a phone or something? Okay.
I see something that I've tried so many times to find a stopwatch on this one.
Updated rules. The game can be played with 2 to 8 players. But for the purpose of this exercise, a maximum of 4 players must be set. The category's index cards, are face downwards on the table and piled off to the side. A 6-sided die is placed directly in the center of the table. Each player has a few sheets of paper and a pencil. Players record their own score with these tools. It is recommended that players use one sheet of paper to record their score and another to write down their answers for the categories duel. Each player rolls the die, and depending on the roll, a different effect will occur, causing players to either gain or lose points. 1. The player engages in charity, thievery, and retribution. The winner of this challenge may steal up to 3 points, not 30. The loser of this challenge may lose up to 2 points, or below. An index card 2. An index card is picked up and held by the next player to roll. The current roller then engages in the categories duel with the last player to roll. The winner of this duel receives 2 points. Points below. Oh, yeah. The roller takes the die and then engages in the Try Hexa challenge. Depending on how much the player decides to risk, they can either win up to 4 points or lose up to 2. Points below. The first player to grab the die securely in their hand gets 1 point. The roller, on a 4. Sorry. Okay, the roller of the die is not allowed to reach for the die and therefore unable to receive a point. If any player reaches for the die prematurely and the die did not land on a 4, then that player or players loses 1 point. The roller participates on 5. The roller participates in black die with every other player. The winner receives 2 points. More of a You know, they probably could have just put that first. And then it's fine. Every player must participate on 6. Every player must participate in the Hexa slap. The winners of this challenge receive 1 point, or the loser loses 1 point. That sounds great. Okay. Charity, thievery, and retribution. The player can choose to either play this challenge or pass their turn on to the next player. The first roll, the initial roll, determines what will happen to the player. Charity. If on the initial roll, the player rolls a 1, 2, or 3, and that player is selected for a charity, and may either give one of their points to another player or choose to roll again for a chance to escape this requirement. If the player rolls again, and the number is once again a 1, 2, or 3, then that player must now give 2 of their points to another player and end their turn. If, however, the player rolls a 4, 5, or 6, then they no longer have to give away one of their points and their turn ends. Thievery. If on the initial roll the player rolls a 4, 5, or 6, then that player is selected for thievery and may either steal 1 point from any player and add it to their own score, or choose to roll again and steal 3 points instead. If the thief rolls again, if the thief rolls again and the number is once again a 4, 5, or 6, then the thief may now steal 3 points for any player, add it to their own score, and end their turn. If, however, the thief rolls a 1, 2, or 3, then the thief is selected for retribution and must subtract 2 points from their score and end their turn. And if the player has less than 3 points, the thief can only steal as many. Got it. When they talk about the initial roll,
I think so. Yeah.
you roll, you get one, then you roll, and then you choose. The categories duel. This is for what, 2? The next player to roll picks up a category card from your pile. This player will serve as both the moderator and the timekeeper for the duel. Meanwhile, both the current roller and the last person who rolled prepare to use their paper and pencil. Only when both players are ready does the card roller read the category aloud. Once the category is read, both players have 5 seconds to think about the topic. After those 5 seconds are up, they have 25 seconds to write down as many objects that belong in the category as possible. Players may abbreviate their answers to save time, but those answers must be legible.
Do you need a keeper for seconds?
I think just just one of the players who's not participating.
Yeah.
I got it.
Categories are broad and players may defend their answers if the group has not heard of them. If a written answer is mostly unknown amongst the group and it cannot be proven to be correct by the player, then that answer is dismissed and does not count. If both players feel uncomfortable answering a particular category during the 5-second grace period, prior to the 5-second countdown, the current category card may be replaced by another, but only once. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When I first read that, I was like, would they be uncomfortable, like emotionally? Like, I don't like this subject. But I guess if neither of them knows anything about
It's
it.
like they're so like specific that neither of them really know much about them.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. After the 25 seconds are over, the player with the most correct answers receives 2 points. If there's a tie, another card is pulled, and another duel ensues. Oh my god. and then until the winner is declared. After the cards have been used, they are placed face up on the bottom of the pile. If all the category cards are used, the deck is reshuffled and reset. There's no penalty for losing this challenge.
Only one problem.
The Hexa challenge. The roller must first choose between odds and evens. If the die lands on the player's guess, then the player receives 1 point. If it doesn't, they lose 1 point and the turn is over. Upon wishing the initial roll, they can choose to either continue rolling or end their turn. They do this, and they guess it right, it's 2 points. And if not, they don't. If the die doesn't land on the player's guess, then the player loses both their initial 1 point as well as an additional 1 point from their current score, and their turn is over. Okay. And if they decide to continue on their second roll, they may continue on for a third and final roll. This final roll once asks the player to choose between odds and evens. However, this time landing on either a 1 or a 6 causes the player to lose. If the die lands on the player's guess, then the player receives 4 points, and their turn ends. If it doesn't land, or it lands on a 1 or a 6, the player loses their accumulated 2 points, as well as 2 points from their current score, and their turn is over. Black die. Starting with the current roller, each player gets as many rolls as as possible to start a collective total of 12 points. Every time the player rolls, they add the last number on the die to the number on the die currently rolled. If the player rolls over 12 points, they lose the challenge and must pass the die to the next player. The player may choose to stop at any time to hold their current points and retain them at a static total. After holding their points, they pass the die to the next player. By the time the die reaches the original roller, the challenge is over. The first player to reach exactly 12 points, or the player with the highest amount of held points by the end of the challenge wins. The winner receives 2 points. There is no penalty for losing. Upon a 6 being rolled, every player must slap the table with both hands simultaneously and say, Hexa! The last player to do so loses 1 point, while every other player who completed the challenge successfully receives 1 point. If a clear loser can't be determined, no one receives or loses any points, the turn is over, and the die is passed on. No player can obtain a negative score. If they're at 0 at the time of losing a challenge, their score will remain at 0. How to play. To start, each player takes a turn rolling the die. Highest roll goes first. And then it goes from the first player clockwise, so to the left. Each player rolls the die once, and depending on the number, a different result will occur. At the end of each turn, that player writes down their score and passes the die to the next player. Wait.
So then you're trying to pass it.
Each player rolls the die once. Is that a turn?
Yeah, once per turn. So like, I roll, I get a number, we do the activity, so card.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that was not everyone during one turn.
Oh, gotcha.
And then 10 points wins. Cool. So let's roll the die. You gotta be careful. 3. 5. 3. 6. Nailed it. So you go first.
Okay.
3. Try Hexa challenge. So this is the one where you can keep rolling and see if you guess it right.
Yes, alright, so I will choose odd.
No, so you lose 1 point,
But you can't go with
so you
it.
can't,
So
so
it's turn,
it's
so-
your turn. Okay. Next.
You get one.
We could, or we could each get 2, I guess, or we could just do like a
Roll
roll.
off,
Okay, what do you want to hold?
I think so.
Okay,